Thank you for joining us again. We have discovered so far that plants have the amazing ability of converting the energy from sunlight into something usable for itself. Yes, plants absorb light primarily through a pigment chlorophyll, which is the reason why most plants are green in color. Besides chlorophyll, plants use other pigments such as carotene and xanthophyllus. Photosynthesis, dear friend, is indeed very interesting. You should know about this because photosynthesis is important to you. It keeps everybody and everything else alive. We're going to discover why and how. When you appreciate the process of photosynthesis, you never look at plants the same way. You might be tempted not to step on the grass in case you interrupt that process of photosynthesis. Don't bother about the diatoms. They are busy photosynthesizing. Photosynthesis is indeed very interesting. Here's what happens. Energy pours onto the earth in the form of electromagnetic radiation that most of us are aware of. It comes in the form that we call commonly as sunshine. The sun's energy heats the earth, makes weather, and keeps us warm at the same time. It's amazing what potential lies in this sunlight that comes from the heaven above. But if that was all, this would still be a pretty dead planet. There would be no you, and there would be no me. Plants and animals need energy to survive, to live, to grow, and to make more food for each one of us. And to reproduce, we need energy. All that solar energy that comes to the earth, pouring to the earth in tremendous amounts, are gathered every day. But it wouldn't do us any good if there was no way to turn that sunlight and that energy into a form that we can use. And that's what photosynthesis does. Many of us may have lived in a way that do not appreciate what takes place around us. But the next time you look at your plant, you look at the leaves around you, marvel at the processes taking place inside them. Every single day, without thanks, without any fanfare, or hardly anyone noticing, these humble life forms produce thousands of tons of glucose and other carbohydrates, and they put thousands of tons of oxygen back into the atmosphere that you and I breathe. Yes, we are indeed indebted to the plants for the oxygen that we breathe. Without it, without oxygen, all life forms would die. Photosynthesis is the beginning of that amazing journey where energy is transformed into the basic and from the basic materials of life, from plant to animal, from animal to decomposer, for the atoms and the molecules that live within those plants, for the journey of that cycle that repeats itself over and over again. Surely it demands some kind of reflection. For energy, the trip is a sort of a once-off thing. All energy that moves through life ends up somewhere. Either ends up as heat or it radiates back into space from where it came. But if it wasn't for that nice, tremendous dose of energy coming through sunlight every day, we would all be very cold and live in a permanently frozen state of not living. In fact, even the wind that the bird soars on is powered by the sun's energy. Yes, it is all powered by the sun. All those plants, all those animals, swooping around, running around, hunting, growling, flying, swimming, sneaking, eating, sniffing, digging, buzzing, chirping, biting, all those creatures, stinging, reproducing, chewing, licking. Well, you get the idea. None of all these things would ever happen if we had no energy to do it. And that energy is made possible through the process called photosynthesis. It appears as if there is energy flowing through everything in this world, plant forms and human forms as well. It enters the food chain as energy from the sun. In fact, the sun makes everything happen. The energy doesn't really get used up all at once. All that really takes place is that the energy from the sun, that electromagnetic radiation from the sun, that energy that exists there is merely taken and formed and transformed into an energy that we can use, that can power animals and plants. This power that is transformed, we call energy, flows through all of us. It's busy among the plants, busy making the food chain happen so that you and I don't have to starve in this world. They eventually turn that energy from the sun into food. This is very nice of the plants, don't you think? The plants to turn the energy into food, because there's no way that we would be able to eat the sunlight, the sunshine that we have. We can only eat the plants, or each other for that matter. You ought to know the word for the process that makes all this happen. The process that puts food on your table. That process is photosynthesis. It's not a big word really, and it's only hard to say if your mouth is full of some food, which again was possible through the very same process, photosynthesis. When we get back, we'll discover what else God wants us to learn from this amazing process of photosynthesis.